Welcome, everybody, at another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. If you're enjoying your day, sweet. If not, then what the hell ever. So I wanted to kind of talk about this because I'm not sure if anybody else is feeling this. Like, I just tweeted it just as I'm recording this episode, but does anybody else out there who plays wrestling video games not feel enthusiastic about any of the WWE 2K games at this point? Because it feels like, look, we've had the 2K franchise, like, ever since the whole THQ dissolution that happened after WWE 13, going back to starting with 2K14. So we've been going through this for over a decade now. We've had some side games since then as well, like we had 2K Battlegrounds, because, and I'll talk about it why, but the whole 2K20 debacle. We had All-Stars a little bit before this, which seemed alright. But it's just like, it feels like no matter how many times we get new 2K WWE video games, it doesn't feel like it's really becoming anything attention-grabbing. It's like, yeah, there might be some slight, like, improvement compared to the previous game, but it's not getting, like, to me at least, because, like, I've been buying every game that's been, like, as of release probably since maybe 2K15 upon release. Some of the others, like, after that, like, for 2K14 prior. But it's just, like, it feels like every game, it feels the same more or less as last year, because, like, I play these games mostly on my Xbox One, or Xbox Series S technically, but still within that family of games. And usually I get to the point where I play the game for like a couple of months, and then I just stop. Like, I'll play it, get some achievements in there, try out the My Rise / My Career mode, depending on what game it is, and then I just stop playing it. Because it's like, you look at how these games have been, like, it's very tough to really be interested. It's like, yeah, they'll add one or two things new. Maybe they'll update the roster and everything. But it's just like, it still feels like the same game at the end of the day. Like, you look at 2K14, which is the last game before we started getting the PS4, Xbox One migration and getting back into PC. 2K14, I can admit, was fun. Like, you had the 30 years of WrestleMania modes. Some matches could have possibly been in there with the wrestlers that were already in the game roster and everything, like Batista, Triple H from WrestleMania 21 could have been in there. I mean, it was a fun game in the 30-year, like you said, with that story mode. The Undertaker defeat the streak mode, I thought was a great concept there. And everybody being, like, defend the streak, also giving the leaderboards and everything. I thought that worked very well. Then you get to 2K15, and that's where some problems happen, because you had it on both the Xbox 360, PS3 consoles, as well as the newer ones, being PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And there were issues, like the last gen for 2K15, instead of having my career mode or anything like that, they just gave us that whole proving ground mode, which is like, hey, you're an NXT star, you face John Cena. The match is essentially the same as Defeat the Streak mode from the year prior, but without the no disqualification rule. So you got that, and then my career mode starts with PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But it's like, the career mode went absolutely nowhere, because it was just, have matches. Keep having matches. Oh, you're on this show, like, now you can have multiple matches per week. Yay. But it didn't feel like there was, like, any set concrete, like, storyline for, like, a career mode or anything there. I mean, we have to remember Baron Blade. And then if you got the PC version, you at least had more creator wrestler slots. I think Xbox One and PS4 had, like, what, 25? And then PC, you had to get that to get, like, 100. So, I mean, the console ones, like, people are getting ripped off there for those. And you also even look at the last gen, like, career, or WWE games through 2K17, so anything for PS3 and Xbox 360. Even the background area that you could fight in for backstage brawls, they were just the exact same, going back to, like, what, I believe, like, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, or maybe WWE 12. They just kept recycling the same backstage area. The only change they might have is, like, oh, different, like, artwork on the side, like for a poster or a banner or something. Like, they didn't even put any focus on those ones for anybody who didn't have a newer console yet. So it's just like, what was really the motivation for all that? In fact, I wouldn't even check, like, was there anything, like, I know I got some of these games even with the special, like, pre-order bundle and everything. Like, 2K15, I'm even looking at this at Wikipedia just as a refresher, because it's been that long. Because, yeah, like, PS3, Xbox 360 had Proving Ground and who got NXT mode, so you can play some NXT stars. I know there was something, like, pre-order, like, you had DLC, which some stuff worked, and, like, even adding to the other, like, showcase mode and everything that they put in here, because, like, you had Shawn Michaels Triple H, you had the Ultimate Warrior stuff, Mark Henry's Hall of Pain, stuff like that. You had Hogan, initially, and then eventually he got taken out of the game because, oh, Hogan said some bad stuff, obviously. I'm not going to repeat. 2K16, I remember getting that because, like, the pre-order stuff, it was, like, the Stone Cold t-shirt, the Demon Finn Balor figurine, which I actually still have in the box down in the basement. Then you look at some of these ones, it's, like, Showcase Mode, like, it mostly focused on Stone Cold, but it's just, like, some of these matches, you already saw repeats, like, oh, WrestleMania 19 against The Rock and 14 against Shawn Michaels. We already saw that in 2K14. So it's just like a bit of a rehashing with just upgraded graphics. And you didn't even have Mike Tyson ready for this one for licensing reasons, so they had to give the Enforcer as a special guest referee. My Career Mode, a little bit better. You had the Authority added in there, but like, yeah, it was whatever. Universe Mode, nobody ever probably really cared about it, to be honest. But it's just like, it was there. Like, you even look at the DLC, you had, like, Legends Pack, so there was, like, Big Boss Man, Dusty Rhodes, and more. But it's just like, 2K16, it was fine, but it's just like, one of those cases, again, where it was just there. 2K17. This, I remember, like I said, this was the last one for Xbox 360, PS3 consoles, because then they just migrated over and they brought the whole thing saying, hey, you pre-order, you get Goldberg right off the bat. So it's like, okay, and then eventually led to Goldberg also coming back to WWE, and we know the whole thing with Brock and all that, like, happening and all that. The roster, pretty good. It said they would have more than 11 extra DLC characters, so, okay, not too bad. My Career Mode, it says, My Career Mode allows the player to create their own superstars to compete for championships on the main roster and or in NXT. New promo engine, which was a good thing, like, trying to get your character over and everything like that. But I don't remember anything other special with 2K17. I know they had some other deep, like, pre-order bonuses for other games and everything. Like, I actually still got them, even with some of the boxes. 2K18, this is where I had a lot of problems, because the Switch port, if you've been on this channel, you know how I feel about it. I've tested the game to limit, and I know there have been some improvements on the Nintendo Switch 2, but I don't even have that console yet to test it out. But, like, the Nintendo Switch version was absolutely abysmal. My Career Mode, I don't think I ever even finished it, because, like, you would try to get some side objectives done, be like, oh, for the Usos, you gotta put your opponent through the announce table. You would think, okay, that's done, you can move on. Eventually, I couldn't move on, because it's like, oh, the objective's still there to do again, and again, and again, and nobody else is giving any of these opportunities to do other side things to progress or anything like that, or you might be soft-locked, depending on what stuff you do. But it's just like, I know there was some other stuff with 2K18. I think 2K15 also had that ring mat from the night after WrestleMania 30 that Hogan stood in. I think that was one of them. 2K18, I don't remember the pre-order stuff off the top of my head. Like, I know you had Kurt Angle being brought in and everything, because, like, he was finally back in WWE and all that. But otherwise, my memory's slipping a bit without looking at the direct stuff, but, yeah, it's hard to defend that one. 2K19, I feel like they got it a bit better. Although, we remember the whole thing with the tournament being like, hey, you gotta win this, like, main showcase mode and everything in the fast time, then you go in a tournament against AJ Styles, and you beat him, you win money, and we saw who the person was and their background and everything. You're like, oh, yeah, it feels a little rigged here. But it's like, 2K19, I thought was actually pretty fun with that tower mode to, like I said, just beat everybody, try to get the golden AJ Styles, and cut a promo and everything. So, I mean, that was fine. I thought it was fun. And I know this game actually also got, like, extended, like, support and everything, because 2K20 ended up being a massive disaster right out the gate. And they also, for the showcase mode, they focused on Daniel Bryan, which, you know, I thought was good. Like, I thought it was, like, a good choice there. But it's just, like, a lot of the stuff is just, Like, Ray announces a pre-order bonus character. I think this is right around the time he came back, because he disappeared for a few years. Yeah, and it had the Ric Flair Woo Edition, which, again, I still have the box in my closet. And it's also got a piece of Ric Flair's robe from WrestleMania 24, so I actually do have that plaque, too. Thankfully for that. And I think, oh yeah, and it was either 2K16 or 17. Shinsuke autograph was also added in there. 2K20! I remember playing this game live. Like, I remember when the game first came out, I played my first match being, and I think I might have it on the gaming channel still, Jeff Hardy versus The Rock in his $500 t-shirt in a Boiler Room Brawl, and the hit detection was hardly even there. Because, like, I would try to use, like, a steel pipe against The Rock, and just nothing. Because, like, the team getting swapped out with, like, visual concepts thrown in there and nukes getting out during development just made everything a hassle, glitches galore. As soon as 2020 hit at midnight, all of a sudden the game just would not work until a patch came out. And it's like, eventually they just gave up trying to work on the game. It's just like, this game was just an absolute mess. And the story mode, I finished it at some point, and I actually looked at my gaming channel's videos and everything, like here on my PC, and I realized I still have some of the My Career Mode videos still saved from when I either played them or streamed them. And it's just like, I did not like the story mode, because like, the game graphics look terrible, glitches galore, the friggin' the controller layout just completely got remixed, which, you play the previous game, then you try this one, you gotta remember and relearn all these new controls and everything, which screwed everything up. I think this one also had, like, the plaque for the ring implosion from Brock Big Show 2003, and then you either get an plaque for Ray, Kurt Angle, or Edge, and some people didn't get theirs autographed, which was a big bust there. But it's like they said, this game was so bad that 2K19 had their online servers extended because, hey, 2K20 is pretty awful, and they wouldn't even release, like, much of footage or anything beforehand. I think the rumor was, or reports said that you couldn't even get the game early, which is absolutely bad. But it's just like, nothing could be defended about this. Like, there's so many things gone wrong, even with the DLC. Like, this is what happens when they can't see the game to completion because internal stuff happens. And this canceled 2K21 as a result. They're like, yeah, we're not getting this next game. So we wouldn't get a mainline 2K game for the next few years. We would get 2K Battlegrounds in 2K in 2020, almost feeling like a bit of an All-Stars ripoff, which, it's okay, but it's just like, it doesn't feel like All-Stars in terms of like performance or anything, or in terms of replayability. Like, I played it to some degree. I've never actually gone back and finished the game. I mean, like, that game was why I got tired of Rob Gronkowski. It's like, oh, Gronkowski's here, he's here again and again. Like, I already saw enough of him because of those Manscaped commercials, but it's just like, oh, he's still in 2K Battlegrounds. Like, go away, please. So we wouldn't even get anything in 2021 either, but instead we would get 2K22. That one, like, I remember they actually put the Rey Mysterio and everything, and I thought that showcase mode was actually pretty good. You had the stuff with Eddie Guerrero, the stuff with match with Dolph Ziggler and JBL, the stuff with Dominic when Dominic wasn't in Judgment Day yet, so I felt 2K22 was good. I'm trying to remember myself, even with the showcase, or My Rise / My Career mode. I think it was somewhere around here where they changed it from My Career to My Rise. But it's just like, my memory's drawing a blank in 2K22 for how that went. Yeah, my memory's not being jogged or anything, so it's just like, it was there and it was fine, but it's just like, I have no real memories of this. Let's see, WWE 2K23. Because I'm like, I'm having to look up this stuff again just to jog my memory and all that. Let's see, PS4, PS5, Windows, Xbox, consoles. Yeah, so it was the second game also released on the modern day consoles for home consoles. You had the GM that was brought around again, My Faction, which I know My Faction isn't, like, very fondly looked upon, which, it's like, yeah, that's understandable, because it's just like, you play a bunch of online matches and it's just whatever. 2 story modes for My Rise, so one for men, one for women, which is like, okay, I mean, that's at least something. You have 2 branches to go off of instead of just like one character point A to point B, so you don't have to be like one set character going this specific route. But I mean, that was fine and all that. 2K24, like, I know, like, let's see, they brought back the ambulance and casket matches, even though the casket didn't feel the same as the previous game, like where it had the buried alive visual there too. Backstage brawl, it felt better, because like you had the ambulance in the parking lot and everything, an updated backstage area with a big spotlight and the anvil cases and all that stuff. So it feels like, yay, they gave us something a little bit different, and I can appreciate that. And I almost forgot, even with 2K18, I can also at least appreciate the fact that they gave us a new backstage area, like, for the main game, because it's like, oh, you can roam around backstage and do stuff, so it's like, okay, that's at least something positive. But, like, even the stuff there for this, like, the 40 Years of WrestleMania mode, I know there were a lot of matches that could have easily been included in here, too, that were just excluded. I might have to revisit that, too. I think even 2K23, I probably didn't even finish that showcase mode either, because, like, I was trying to do it for, like, a video that, well, or was it 2K20? It was either 2K23 or 24 that I played. on PC or one of my consoles, and I never finished it because I got pissed off with the War Games match. It's like, oh, somebody won the match before you could finish the objectives, so characters are all weird. But it's like 40 years of WrestleMania mode for 2K24. It was fine, but like they were messing matches. Felt like they were skipping along a bit too much. Yeah, and that was about it. I almost thought there was a Nintendo Switch port, but no. That'll be 2K25, which would have Nintendo Switch 2, and also bring back a game to Android and iOS for the first time since 2K15, I think. If you have a Netflix subscription, of course. Like, they're gonna check that. And, of course, like, intergender matches, was like, that's a fine thing. It's like, oh, if you want to RKO Charlotte Flair so badly, you can without getting disqualified. But it'll also be the last games for PS4 and Xbox One. But bringing a game to Nintendo Switch 2, I'm kind of interested to see that. Even though, like, I know I've seen pictures and everything. You get the case there, but, like, if you try to get in physical form, but there's no game card in there, which is an absolute pointless thing. And it's like, then why would anybody ever open that game case back up afterwards if there's no game inside of it? Like, you're just going to close it, put it on your shelf, and never open it up again. You could just go digital at that point. Like, oh, you get a DLC code here. Again, there's no point in having the physical one there then. But I never haven't even tried the Android or iOS ones. Like, even with my phone, because, like, I've had my phone since 2018, that probably would not be able to withstand the game. You had the island and everything, which I never tried, because it's just like, I think I got the game on PC. I don't remember if I got this on the Xbox Series consoles. In fact, I even know some 2K games I don't even have on PC yet. And I can't unless I do some nefarious things. And now 2K26, I know that's the most recent one to come out. By the time this episode comes out, the game should already be out for everybody outside of early access and all that. But it's on the Nintendo Switch 2, PS5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S. So Xbox One and PS4 get nothing. CM Punk's there. He's got his own like gameplay mode and for showcase mode. The dumpster match is back, like in there and everything. So you can have it without modding and putting in place of like a casket or anything like that, like some people would do. But it's just like, even this one, I'm just, like, it says the roster has been expanded to feature over 400 playable characters for the first time in the series. Superstars from AAA will be included as DLC due to the WWE's acquisition of AAA the previous year. It says Nintendo Switch 2 version of 2K26 include platform-specific features designed for the console's hardware. Control options were expanded to include touchscreen and mouse support. Okay, but I don't know if a lot of people are going to be into doing the mouse, the Joy-Con there for Nintendo Switch 2. Game also supports single Joy-Con play from local multiplayer. It incorporates game share and game chat functionality alongside full support for image uploader and all that stuff. The original version will be released on a game key card instead of a code inside the box. So it finally does something right compared to the last year. Because again, like I said, why get the game if there's nothing inside of it and you're never going to open it again? Even if you download and deleted it, you can just re-download it again because it's there in your file and your game save or your account and all that. But it's just like, even seeing stuff like this, it's just like, I'm not immediately intrigued to just go out and get this game, because it's just like, it feels like a lot of these games, outside of maybe like a couple additions, maybe some slight improvements, they just feel the same year after year now. So yeah, it's just like, I hate to feel negative about this, because like, again, I've played so many of these games over the years. Whether it be playing Rage in the Cage for the hack Nintendo Switch series, Royal Rumble on Dreamcast, which was obscured, No Mercy, the Raw games on Xbox, which are neither here nor there, Day of Reckoning games, the 2K games, SmackDown series. It's just like, I'm not in that mindset to be like, oh, I've got to hurry up and get the game. And plus, even look at like the full, like, most expensive version of the game. Like, the least like price I think was like $70 without tax. The most expensive is at least $150. Like, I don't think they've done anything since 2K20 to where you pre-order the game, even in physical form, and you get something special on the side. Like, they've stopped doing that after that 2K20 debacle, and it's just like, you're not going to really motivate people to pre-order something unless there's something special like you see with other game franchises. Like, oh, get this game, you'll get this special box, you'll get some, like, figurines, artwork, this, etc., etc. It's just like, yeah, you might get to play the game early and everything, but, like, at that point, it's not in the best form and everything and right off the bat, because you got to have the patches there and everything, and who knows if anybody tested it properly. But anyway, let me know in the comment section below, is anybody else in that feeling of being burned out from these games to the point where you don't want to get them at this point yet? Because, like I said, for the last several years, I played the games for like a couple of months, and then I just stop. Like, I'll take the games on my Xbox or PC and, like, put them elsewhere. It's like, oh, I got on the Xbox Series S. All right, I got to make room. Put the 2K game on the external hard drive because I don't want to take up any space again. It's just like, I'm just wondering if that's just me. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys thought. If you enjoyed today's episode of the podcast, folks, please remember, leave a like, subscribe to the bell, turn on here on YouTube, comment what you thought below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.